What's going on, people? Good morning! Wake up, wake up, wake up! Definitely want to start the day off with some gratitude, thanking the Lord for all the blessings that we receive and thanking Him for another beautiful day. So let's go, people! It's Take Action Tuesday, and today is all about being ready. And are you ready? Ask yourself, the last time an opportunity came, were you ready? There's things when we're a child we don't understand, right? And there's always this phrase, hey, when the opportunity comes, you better be ready. The opportunity's coming, be ready. And we're like, yeah, until it happens. Where the opportunity shows up and you're asking and begging for more time. Can I get a little more time to prepare? Oh my gosh, I'm not ready. I can't believe this is happening. Can I have a few moments? No, you got to be ready right now. And so it's all about being prepared now for the opportunity and the things that you're searching for later. And when they come, you don't always have a warning. And I could be the first one to testament to that. Like, there's a few times in my life that even like in school, when we have pop quizzes and things like that, that's preparing you to be ready and to be able to handle and cope with uncertainty at that moment, to be like, Now I'll give you, for instance, right? So many of you may or may not know, right? So I played professional football. I played arena for 2 years, all right? But previous to that, I played some minor league football. And then previous to that, I played 1 year of college football, but really it was more on the practice side. And it really didn't work out in college just because I couldn't balance school and football. Many can, I couldn't, right? It was just too much. And with my ADHD and with all the things that I had from an academic standpoint, I just couldn't balance both, right? So I chose to do the school stuff. But fast forward now, right? I get an opportunity. I did so well in minor league sports that, I got an opportunity. And here it was with the New York Giants. And they said, hey, we can't bring you into camp because you don't have the pedigree. You don't have all the background that most kids have coming into the draft or coming into coming into camp. So I need you to make an arena team. Can you do that? And I'm thinking in my head, of course I could do that. I've been working, right? And so they say, great. So they make a few phone calls. I get a call back and boom, I'm off to Massachusetts. Now, I was working at the time. In the morning, I was working from 5 to 2, 3 o'clock in the afternoon, right? I was working in Stanford, right? I was driving back and forth, doing a lot of work on the computer and just more of the sunrise support, we called it. And we were just getting going and, doing the break fix, all right? And so this is in 2007. And so 2006, 2007. And so I'm commuting 2 hours to Milford, Massachusetts, okay? And that's just one way. So 2 hours there, 2 hours back. And I'm going up against guys that about 5 to 6 years younger than me. Okay, guys are like 21, 22. Here I was 26, right? And 27. And, I had to go back and forth every single day for 2 weeks, 5 days a week. Now, mind you, this was in the evening time. All right, because this was a tryout, and obviously they offered that so that everybody can make it if they were working during the day. Now, mind you, I had to be at work at 5 in the morning. Practice sometimes didn't get over until 2 in the morning, 1 in the morning. I didn't get home, right? So I had to do that, and I was just so focused on making this team because this was my shot. Okay, Kevin Gilbride, he said it. Listen, if we bring you into camp, you got to make this team. I need to have you with some professional experience. I'm like, okay. And so the thing is that I was ready, right? I was ready mentally and physically to go and try out and work out hard. And I remember the day where we had to line up and I had our playbooks and we're ready to rock and roll and we had to wait for the coaches. We walk in, big round table, all the coaches, all the, owners of the team. And they gave me my good news. They said, I got good news and bad news. Which one you want first? And I told them, I said, listen, I'll take the bad news because at least the good news at the end can cheer me up. And so give me the bad news first. They said, well, we don't have this number, right? But we have this number. Welcome to the New England Surge. So again, I share this story because had I not been working, had I not been ready, so that when that phone call came and said, yo, can you go make this team? I didn't have a week. I didn't have a day. Like, I had to go and report literally 2 days later, right? So the thing is that, and I had to be willing to drive 2 hours one way. So 4 hours of travel time on top of working, on top of sleeping, on top of making sure my body was rested so that I can perform at the high level where all these other kids, they didn't have all that stuff going on, right? They're staying in hotels. They're just, doing football. And I had to do football, right? I'm married at the time. I got a job. Like, it's crazy. And I'm like, oh my gosh, right? I'm just married, right? The wife and I, we just got married in 2004, right? So here it was just a few years later. And, it's just a strong testament to being ready. And that's what this message is about. It's like, you have to be ready. I'll give you another story, right? So, perfect example. My son, right? He's been working hard. He's being consistent in practice, and every week or every game, the coach sends out a list. Who makes JV? Who makes JV? Who makes JV? Who's traveling? What traveling freshman? What traveling freshman? And so yesterday, right, my son had a good practice, but yet he felt down. And so I asked him, I said, what's up? He goes, oh, I just wish I can go to the next level. I wish I can go to the next level. And I said, son, I said, you have to be patient. And I want you to put the Lord in the middle of all you do. Because here's the key. That's your superpower. That's daddy's superpower. Anytime I feel uncomfortable, anytime I feel fear, anger, discomfort, I go to the Lord. I say, Lord, this is where I struggle, right? And allow the Lord to fill in that gap. And, he heard me, but he was still feeling a certain type of way, right? So then we go to the dentist. He had an orthodontist meeting with his dentist, and so we were going there. He uses like Invisalign, so he had to go get his stuff. And all of a sudden, they come out and they're like, "Hey, remember we were doing that whole guessing game, and you won, you win a gift card if you guess the most numbers or the most accurate numbers of coins in the jar." And he's like, "Yeah." He's like, "You guys won. You won." And I was like, "He's like, oh." So all of a sudden, his mood goes from here to here. Right? And then they were like, "Oh, you're doing a great job with your Invisalign and you're staying on top of it. Your transformation is incredible." And I'm like, "Wow, yeah, he's really diligent and consistent." And so I start to see his mood go moving up. So then we get home and we're getting done with dinner, and he gets a message from the coach saying, "You're traveling tomorrow for JV. Be at the bus at 3:30. And literally this kid goes from 0 to 100. His energy, his emotion, all these things. And I give him a big hug and I said, "Son," I said, "this is how life works, right? You see how low you were literally 3 hours ago, right? And for the last 4 games of JV, you didn't make the list, right? But you stayed consistent. You stayed working. You stayed plugged in. And although you kept feeling these little feelings of not being accepted or not being appreciated or not, whatever. And it's all in his head because it's not even like that. I see him in practice. I see the coaching engaging. The coach is coaching, right? But he's looking for these little things. And I know this. I know this as an athlete. I know that the most important thing that a coach wants to see is consistency and composure, right? Especially if you go up to the next level, JV and varsity, right? The level of pressure and the level of urgency is a whole lot different. It's a whole lot different, but this kid has been consistent, right? And this is just his demeanor. It's like, this is what he does. And so now he gets the call and he's going to the game, right? He's, how much playing time? Who knows? I don't know. I just told him, I said, "Listen, you made the list, kid, right? You made the list. And this is just right now, right? For today. Who knows? You may not make the list next week. You have to keep working hard. So stay consistent. Don't get complacent. Right? Stay hungry, stay working. And so that's my message today, guys, is that there's so many opportunities out there that are just waiting to be presented to you. The most important question you guys ask yourself is, am I ready for the opportunity when it shows up? Okay? And think about those times where you weren't, so that it can strengthen you, so that you can show up in those moments at the last second you get that phone call and it says, "Let's go. You're ready to rock and roll." All right, guys, Take Action Tuesday. I love y'all. Continue to stay consistent, 10 toes down. And if you haven't been, let today be the day so that when the opportunity shows up, you're ready. I love y'all. Take care. Peace.